Let me tell you the secret that has led to my goal. My strength lies solely in my tenacity. Louis Pasteur. My friends, tenacity, that's the ability to grip something and to hold on to it. That led to the success of Louis Pasteur. And my friends, it can lead to your success in the stock market. That is grasping the knowledge of how to chart stocks. Is it going up? Is it going down? It's really a binary call. Most of the time, people will throw in, well, sometimes it goes sideways. Yeah. But if you look at the charts that we're looking at right here, you can see them seesawing up and down. Is there sideways movement sometimes? Yes. If you flatten a chart out, of course, if you expand price more, all of a sudden those candles drag out and you can see the seesawing even more. And again, my friends, what we are doing here each and every day, week in, week out, is charting these stocks, our favorite ETFs, the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, 20-year bonds, gold, and Bitcoin. And my friends, we follow them like secret agents. We are looking for the telltale signs, the information, the confidential things that we see, having been intimate with these stocks, knowing their day in, day out activity. What did I tell you at the end of the week when I saw the red spinning top after the interim high? We had a green spinning top the week before. I told you I thought the market was going down, and it did head down today. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to head down forever, that this is the breaking of the market. I'm not sure about that, but we do see as things have weakened. As I look at the directional probability on our 5-day plus ETF trading analysis and execution plan, it's strong for an up movement. Now, I could be wrong. It could move around and start heading up, or it could do what I think it's probably going to keep doing, and that is heading down. We'll continue to watch, but let's start with the S&P where we are today. We see things moving off, not a lot of energy in the morning, more energy in the afternoon as things plumbed down. That is on the half-day chart. The 2-day chart, we see that it is a red down candle. I redrew a trend line. It's fairly horizontal, so not that helpful and not that healthy for really springing down movement, which is what we want to see after hitting a high. But as we look at things, again, I see the outlook as being potentially down. As I look at our math and analysis as we run it through, the 5-day plus trading analysis and execution plan still shows the S&P strong going up and the NASDAQ 100 strong going up. Gold strong going up, and Bitcoin and 20-year U.S. government bonds, a little more in a coin toss, going down. But I am predicting that this market may have reached a high. Now, it could turn around for the rest of this week and go up, but we'll see if indeed these down movements keep compounding. I didn't call the S&P yet, as I told you at the end of the week, because we just had 2 dojis. We had those before and the market didn't go down. So again, haven't called that yet, but we do see some negativity down almost 1% today. The NASDAQ is where I did call the down, where I did enter the trade on a down move. And you might say, Tom, where do you enter a trade on a down move on something like QQQ? Well, that's PSQ, my friends. And that is what we plugged into. What do you know about inverse funds? A lot of people use them like gambling devices. Not here. If you've not taken our training on inverse funds, how to make money when markets crash, I'm going to put it up one more time at the end of today's video for you so you have an understanding. They can be perilous because they can magnify your losses because they are revalued quite often every day, many times. And what ends up happening is they have higher fees. And of course, you can lose and lose and lose and have those losses revalued and expanded each day if you don't know what you're doing. That's why You want to practice these things, and that's what we're all about is education. We're not a stock calling service. We don't give market advice. We do talk about what's going on, and we want you to practice trade with us and learn by doing. So let's take a look at the cues and see what it looked like intraday. We had, I don't know where that came from, we had decent volume. We can see in the morning and afternoon a red spinning top and then a down move. We haven't hit the low of back on Friday yet, but we can see that we have a down sloping weekly trend line. The 2-day chart for the Friday, Monday is down with average volume. So we're looking good for continued down movement as we called it. Now, the only thing up for the day is 20-year U.S. government bonds, and they're barely up. When you look at the Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, you can't even tell that. Not much going on, up 0.25% after a big down Friday. So we are still down on our chart. We also, as we run the math on the 20-year U.S. government bond fund, we see that it is down, like I said just a couple minutes ago. Not much more than a coin toss, but it is down and moving down. When we look at gold, I don't know what gold is doing, okay? I'll just be quite honest with you. We had a huge run up in gold, 2 down weeks, then it popped up last week. Starts off this week down 1.15%. After having come off this prior big trend line, I would tend to think gold is still down. Although as we run the numbers on our 5-day plus ETF trading analysis and execution plan, and you can read in there, for those of you who are Patreon members, why we have the prediction that we have and why it is at the percentage it is, and what the backtest accuracy is, which is pretty decent, about 70%. You can look and see if you agree with that. I see a problem after last week of trying to move up to some capitulation there. But my friends, I could be wrong, but it was down. You can see on Friday and then down again Monday, 1.15%. Just could not hold it with that energy that it had. So that's where we are on gold. What about Bitcoin? Bitcoin continues to be negative, continues to pull back, continues to go down. We have been negative on Bitcoin for quite a while since Bitcoin, of course, tried 2 weeks to move up and then dropped and slid sideways for 2 weeks, and then starting 2 weeks ago on the 3rd of November, started really blowing off steam and jamming down. The latest 2-day candle, lots of energy on the volume and lots of energy on the price movement down. So Bitcoin heading south. That is where we are, my friends, as we end Monday on this full market week. We so appreciate you being with us. We always love to hear from you, and we'll continue to chart particularly what's going on with stocks, with the S&P 500 and my current trade on the NASDAQ 100. We'll see how that continues to develop and see how it continues to move. And again, you'll see at the end of today's video a link to Inverse Funds, how to make money when markets crash. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.